So in 2019, I landed at University of Florida as an assistant professor. And in addition to being really excited about having a stable income, I was also really excited to come to the table as a collaborator and actually be a co-I on some of these larger collaborative projects. And being a new assistant professor, I was maybe a little starry-eyed. I saw collaboration as carving out this one little puzzle piece, and you negotiate where your puzzle piece is going to fit, and then you slot it into where everyone else is, and the wheels of science spin forward. Many of you are probably laughing right now. Science, well, changes your puzzle piece. You end up with conclusions that you didn't expect. Maybe it doesn't slot in as nicely to your collaborators. Maybe one of your puzzle pieces just goes missing. So now we have this problem of how to negotiate these big multi-PI collaborations and how to keep your science integrated. So I started, this was during the pandemic, and my pandemic hobby was to sort of sit back and go like, okay, how do other communities collaborate? Because collaboration is intrinsic to humanity. And so one of the communities that came to mind that I had a little experience with was these guys. So this is a picture of the hog farm commune in the 1968. And yeah, they're a colorful group of folks, right? Each of them are at choice here. They all are individuals. They have their own sort of motivations, their own dress. And one of the key parts of collaborations here for me is that everyone is choosing to come to this table together. The second part is held in tension with that. They're all going somewhere together. So they're all on that bus. So how do you balance being an individual at choice with being a community going in the same direction? And that's where organization and logistics come in. So this is a discussion board. This is an analog version of a discussion board here. The index cards go on one side and they come off on the other side. This is in a community that's still operating today. This is Twin Oaks. And so you would write your little note, you'd slot it in one side, and someone would write another little note and slot it in the other side. And so this is how you would have an asynchronous conversation in analog. So when developing these collaborations, it's important to think of who you're inviting and why. So you want to be as open as necessary, but sometimes you don't want to be too open. So everyone needs to have a reason for why they're coming to the table. And because there's a reason for why they're coming to the table, you need to listen to their voice. You need to figure out how to get everybody heard in that collaboration. So every voice matters. And now, yes. Now, after you've heard every voice, how do you make a decision? Do you try to craft the best decision that makes everyone happy and is the perfect solution? No. You go with good enough for now and safe enough to try. And then you iterate on pretty much everything. So not only are you iterating on your science, which we're all used to doing, sort of testing hypotheses and then going back to the drawing table and redoing things, but you also iterate on how you're doing it. At the end of the meeting, you take 3 minutes, you go like, okay, how did this meeting go? How was the facilitation? How was the agenda? Did we give enough time to our agenda items? And you learn how to do the science, almost as if it was a scientific inquiry itself. So, when the hippies grow up, they move from the bus into an eco-village. This is an eco-village out in Rutledge, Missouri. It's about 50 to 75 folks who have come together and decided we're going to live as sustainably as possible and we're going to self-govern. So they make decisions collectively and they try to center environmental decisions. And they have worked out an amazing process on how to collaborate. Right, so I'm going to invite you to dream with me what it would look like if we hippified science. So what if we were to take these different design principles, being at choice, going in the common direction, invitations, and apply those to our scientific collaborations to have deeper and more rich collaborations. If you want to follow up with me and join the Hippifying Science conversation, the ESIP Operational Ethics Cluster, I am from University of Florida. I have to put a little bit of polish on things. You can reach us there. You can also, this was drawn from a philosophy called sociocracy, and there's a website there about more of the project management and organizational logistics from there. And with that, I am done.